right? So you wanted to do a deep dive into episode 2 of the Srimad Valmiki Ramayana.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this one is really, it's action-packed.
Yes.
Like there's so much going on in just this one little...
It sets up the whole epic.
Yeah, it really does.
This is the episode where Rama and his brothers are born.
Yeah, we're talking about the births of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna.
The 4 brothers, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, we start we're back with King Dasharatha.
Right.
And he's got a problem, right? He doesn't have any kids.
He wants an heir.
He wants an heir. Yeah. Like desperately wants an heir.
He's got 3 wives.
He's got 3 wives, yeah.
But no children.
No children. And this is a problem, right? Like,
Politically, it's a problem.
Yeah, for the kingdom.
For the kingdom, yeah.
You need a successor.
He needs to know who is going to take over when he's gone.
Right, exactly. So what's he do?
Well, he calls in the priests, the sages, the brahmanas,
Yeah.
the experts, the wise men, and he's like, "Look, I need a son. What can I do?"
Yeah, and they've got they have a ritual for everything, right?
They do.
There's a ritual for like, scratching your nose in this world.
Right.
So they're like, well, okay, we've got this thing for you.
It's a pretty intense ritual.
Okay.
The Putra Kameshtiyagna.
Putra Kameshtiyagna. Wow, okay.
Which basically is meant to grant you sons.
Okay.
So it's a big, elaborate fire sacrifice. Takes many days to perform.
Wow.
Involves lots of chanting and offerings.
Like, is this something that your average peasant farmer could pull off?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, this is something that takes royal resources.
Gotcha.
Lots of wealth and power to be able to pull this off.
Yeah.
So he goes through this whole thing, and at the end of it, he's given this divine dessert.
This is the payasam, right?
The payasam, yes.
Okay, so tell me about this payasam. Like, what is this? What's in it?
Well, unfortunately, the text doesn't really tell us what's in it.
Okay.
All we know is it comes from the gods.
Uh-huh.
It's delivered by this being named Agni, who's like the god of fire.
So it's literally like food of the gods.
Yeah, it's divine food.
Okay.
And he's told to share this with his wives.
Okay, this is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like a stork shows up with a baby.
Right.
Or they have a magical dream and then wake up and they're pregnant.
Right. It's food. It's literal divine intervention through food.
It's symbolism, right? I mean, it's a way for the story to say, look, this is not just an ordinary birth. This is something the gods are involved in.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
This is destiny at work. Yeah. Okay, so he gets this payasam. What happens next? Who gets it?
So he divides it up.
Okay.
He gives half of it to his first wife, Kausalya.
Okay.
And then the other half he splits between his 2 other wives, Kaikeyi and Sumitra.
Okay, so 3 wives, all eating this payasam.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next?
Well, from this divine dessert, 4 sons are born.
4 sons.
Kausalya gives birth to Rama,
Randy.
the main hero of our story.
Great.
Kaikeyi gives birth to Bharata.
Bharata.
And Sumitra gives birth to twins, Lakshmana and Shatrughna.
Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Okay, so we've got 4 sons.
4 sons, yeah.
Each with, they all have different mothers, right?
Right.
Like, is this going to be like, a Game of Thrones situation where everybody's going to be like fighting over the throne?
Oh, the Ramayana definitely has its share of conflict and intrigue.
Okay.
But one of the really interesting things about these 4 brothers is how close they are. They're all devoted to each other, but especially to Rama.
Okay, so they're all like Team Rama.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
And their loyalty to him, it plays a huge role in the story.
Okay, like how so? Like what do they do for him?
Well, throughout the epic, Rama faces all sorts of challenges, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's exiled from his kingdom. He has to fight demons, rescue his wife.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, and his brothers are right there with him every step of the way.
Okay, so
they support him, they fight alongside him, they advise him.
So like they're more than just brothers, they're like his squad, his entourage.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Okay, so let's talk about Rama's birth,
yeah.
Right? Because this is a huge deal, right? Like this is the hero of the story.
Right.
I'm assuming like everybody is super excited about this.
Oh yeah, the Ramayana describes it as this joyous occasion. There's like celestial music and flowers are raining down from the sky.
Really?
Yeah, it's very over the top, but it really gets across, the idea that this is not just any baby.
Okay.
This is someone special.
Mm-hmm. So, like, were there, like, expectations on him right from the get-go?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, like, what were people hoping he would be?
Well, they saw him as the ideal king, the perfect ruler.
Okay.
Someone who would be wise and just and compassionate and powerful, of course.
Yeah, you got to be able to, defend the kingdom.
Exactly.
But I mean, if he's destined for greatness, doesn't that also mean that he's going to face a lot of challenges?
That's a really good point.
I mean, you don't get to be a hero without going through some stuff, right?
Right, exactly.
So I mean, what we see here is like, King Dasharatha is desperate for sons. He performs this crazy ritual. Divine intervention comes in the form of this payasam.
Yeah.
We get 4 sons born, each with a role to play.
Right.
And then you have Rama, who's kind of like the center of it all. And it sounds like, there's a lot of hope riding on him, but also a lot of potential for conflict and challenges ahead.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary of what we've seen in this episode.
Okay, so for everybody listening, I mean, we've really only just scratched the surface here.
We have.
There's so much more to come in the Ramayana.
Yeah.
But I think this episode really sets the stage, not just for Rama's story, but for all the brothers and for the whole epic. I mean, it makes you think, like, what is it about Rama that makes him such a revered figure?
Yeah.
Like, why him? What's so special about this guy?
That's a good question to keep in mind as we move forward.
Yeah. I mean, and also, like, how do the circumstances of his birth, the fact that he's born from this divine payasam.
Right.
The fact that he's got these brothers who are so loyal to him. How does all of that shape, who he becomes and what he does?
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about as you're reading the Ramayana.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.